All right, everybody. So this morning is a plus $397. Pardon me. I'm going to cut the mic here real quick so I can clear my throat. Okay, pardon me. So this morning it is a plus $397 green day, which is nice. I could have stopped trading at, I don't know, probably 9:45 this morning, and it would have been a $500 day, which is really my target. I'd like to hit $500 a day consistently, 500 plus. I took another stab here. So I traded this morning. I traded MSTR, VIPS, and KOSS. VIPS and MSTR were really quick. You got to keep an eye on. This is why I only like to trade one stock at a time, because I keep a close eye on the level 2 after I enter at my spot. I want to see, what those buyers and sellers are doing now. The numbers go by really quickly, and they went by extremely quickly today on VIPS. So when you got to learn how to read the level 2, and there's no way to learn how to read the level 2 other than watching it with skin in the game. Like if you're just sitting there watching level 2, but you don't really have a reason to watch it other than just trying to watch it, then you're not going to learn anything. But if you're watching it because you're in a position on that stock, then you learn real fast. So if there's anybody out there who is still figuring out trading, which trading is an ever evolving industry. There's really no one who there are people who know a lot about trading, who've been trading like all their lives, but they're still learning something new. So today, I used my level 2 experience to duck out of VIPS and MSTR with some profit. Not really a great trade there. And this is kind of why I end up capping my gains on, if you watch my videos for a while, you'll see, well, I capped my gains there. This was where I entered, and this was the target, and so on and so on. And this is why days like today are why. It's because I've taken spankings, thinking, oh, okay, well, it's moving up. It'll keep moving up. There's more room for this thing to run. Oh, my mic isn't on mine. I hope everybody can hear me. There we go. Forgot to put my mic on my collar here. So, okay. So I hope everybody can hear me. I'm not going to redo it. I'm allowed to make mistakes while I'm still learning how to YouTube. So I'm going to call it a day here. I'll go over my trades and tell you what I've been seeing, on the market today, as far as what my morning trade ideas were. And then I'm going to go home, take a nap, get some lunch, call it a day. Okay, so the ones that I traded. So VIPS, I had these 3 levels on VIPS. So the levels were tight. This was a really quick trade. And I wound up, so I didn't have orders ready for the 37.53 and the 37.30 levels. I only got started I was getting started on putting my orders in when the bell for VIPS when the market opened, and I was working on my 37.09 levels right here. And within the first 3 minutes here, within the first minute of the trading day, it went all the way through these first 2 levels that I had, and almost to the 3rd level. So I was like, okay, well, I'm out of this trade. Like this was the trade. If I had had this ready to go, by the time the bell rang, then I would have been able to get into 300 shares here, somewhere at an average of 37.40, and then get out somewhere around 38 which would have been a 1% move, and that would have been the trade. And I wouldn't have gone in with any anticipation of hitting the $37. But because I missed these first two numbers, I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can get the third number to work. And it did, fortunately. So I wound up averaging into 300 shares at $37 a share here. And then the stock, it zigzagged back and forth quite a bit across these numbers. And so I was like, okay, well, let's see what it does. And then so it started to step down. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to cut this if it moves a percentage against me, which it almost did right here at 69. That was a 30. So 1% represents 37 cents. And I was like, okay, I was getting ready to cut, and then it zoomed up on the next candle, and I got out right around. Let's see, I got out. I have my transactions on my other machine here at $37.44. So on this candle right here, I was able to duck out at $37.44, which is pretty close to the top of the candle. So, and then I was like, all right, that's pretty much done. That trade is over with. It was a real fast trade. I mean, it lasted all of about 5 minutes, which is actually probably about 4 minutes too long, really. I should, on this candle right here, this thing popped up and down and went back above this 37.53 level again. And that's really where I should have gotten out, was on that first minute. But I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just going to turn around and start going the other direction for the rest of the day, which it didn't. And so then when it started dipping down again, I was like, ah, crap, I missed my chance. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if this thing pops up or if I have to cut the trade. I was 2 cents away from cutting the trade. Fortunately, I didn't have to. All right. And so then the next thing was K. Well, let me go. I think the next trade I took was Mstr, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I remember this. So this one right here. So my entry was at 814.85. And I wound up getting, I put in an order for 815 even, and I got filled somewhere around 814.15, somewhere around 815, a little bit less, I think, or maybe right on the money, I can't remember. But it popped up, and I was expecting a 1% move. So it popped up to 823 here, and I attempted to sell. I had an order that was quite significantly lower than 823, and to ensure that I got filled, I think I had an order at 819 to get filled. And yeah, actually, if I was filled, so I made $4 on 100 shares, $3.99 on 100 shares. And so and I've forgotten where I clicked, but it was roughly $8.19, or I'm sorry, $819 was roughly where I had my exit. And when it popped up to 823 here, that was, that's 1% above my entry at 815 roughly. So I hit the button and got out at roughly 819 instead of the 823. So yeah, that trade was a less than 1 minute trade right here on this candle, right here, right on this candle right here, and in and out, and it didn't last. Yeah, this thing was on its way down to another level, and so then later on, and this is why, let's see what it was, 10:21, so it was before 10:30. This is where I took the other Mstr trade. I attempted, and this is where I screwed up. So when I had this level of 814.85, and I think I got filled right at 814.85 cents. I think I had a limit order placed after it popped up above 814.85, and instead of waiting for it to break the level, and this is where I screwed up. And this is something that, so what I was anticipating happening was that it would break this 1814 level and just take off to the upside. that happens, and it happens with enough regularity to have gotten me into the trade. Okay, it was a trick, and hey, yeah, I got tricked. It happens. I've had a really good run in the past 2 weeks of a lot of green trades, a lot of green days. So usually, what I would do is I'd wait for it to break the level, come down, test, successfully retest, and then take off again. And my entry would be the high here of the break through my level. I didn't wait for it. I anticipated the move. You can't anticipate the move. You can only trade what's in front of you. This price level wasn't confirmed. That was my mistake. I paid for my mistake, $136. I took myself down from what would be a 500 plus day. Here, let's do some math here real quick. So if I hadn't taken that MSTR trade, right, I'd be 359.97 plus 34.26 plus 44.26 plus 55.48 plus 39.90 equals. I'd be at 500. I'd have a $533 day right today, but I decided to do something foolish that I know better than to do because I've done it 100 times now. I don't know how many times it'll take me to finally learn. But there it is. That was my mistake on the day, and I'm going to call it a day here. $400. A $400 day. Let's clear this. So if I can do 400, times every trading day, so 250 days, 100,000. I'd like to do 500 a day. I'm gonna go home with 400 and be happy about it. All right. So let's take a look at a couple other things. So GameStop. This is interesting. Big sell-off. I was watching the level 2 in the pre-market on GameStop, and this move, almost the entire move right here, I would say certainly in this area, actually. Let me erase this. This is the 1 minute. So, leading up to the opening bell, just before 9 o'clock into the opening bell, a vast majority of the orders going through on the level 2 in this time frame right here, say roughly from 8:50 until right up to the opening bell, were odd lots. I was seeing orders of 1 share, 3 shares. It was just rolling through, zipping through. 8 shares, 9 shares, 12 shares, this was all retail right in here, buying up before the open. And then, you can see what happened here after the open. The market makers, the big boys, whoever got into this thing, maybe post-market yesterday, whatever was going on over here, so on and so on and so on. Some people got their faces ripped off in this move from, opened at roughly $175 to $175 move. So, I considered taking a swipe at it. So I had a level of, I was anticipating 134.75 being an entry point. You can see here, 134.75 was important, and it just recently broke through. You can see roughly that level, 134.75 level right here, and then finally the break of it right here for the move up. Now, I didn't take, I wimped out, really. There was such a gigantic move here. You can see there was a bounce here. Let's see, it went up to 141. But I just didn't, I didn't get the warm and fuzzies watching the level two, watching the stock move, watching the chart. It just, it was too spooky for me. So I stayed away from it. And so this isn't the original Fibonacci that I had this morning. I redrew the Fibonacci after watching the stock a bit. Yeah, this is what's the saying? Something like smooth waters don't make a good sailor, you know, or smooth waters don't make a strong sailor, or something like that. These are rough waters, and yeah, one day I'm sure that I will be a trader with the capacity, with the ship that can sail these waters, but right now I'm just not. And so there were opportunities in here. There were, like, it's kind of obvious to me, this 134.75 area right here, when it broke over here and then went higher than here, there's an opportunity there to get in. I'd say at the 138 level or so right here, and move up to 148. That's a little bit less than a 1% move, but there's there were opportunities here, but it's just not for me. Okay, and so then KOSS is the one that I did really well on today. It got me the bulk of my profits on the day here. Did almost $360 on it on 200 shares. And this, I used this 26.60. I got in at an average of $27. Now it broke down below and then started moving above. Now it came down. You can see on these candles, and I waited for confirmation on this one. So right here it broke below the level. Then here it came back up above the level. Oh, yeah, the drawing isn't working so well. I'll just use my cursor. So right here it broke down below the level, and I was actually waiting. I was like, okay, I'll take $25 without, I'll take a bounce. If it goes all the way down to $25, I'll put in orders for $25 for a bounce off of 25. I had a really strong conviction at that level. At 26.66, not so much, but so it right here it went up above 26.66 by it went up to 28.32 roughly right here, a high of 28.25 that is. And then it came back down, and I was watching the level 2 on it, and I'd watched the level 2 on it. It hit my scanner, or it rang the bell to alarm me to the trade, and so I started watching it back here at 9:48, the 9:48 time frame. And then I saw it coming down. I was watching, and I was like, okay, well, if it hits 25, I'm taking an entry. I don't care. It's going to bounce there if it goes to it. But then I was watching the level 2, and it opened up here, and it zoomed up. And then over here, it zoomed back down really quickly. And I was watching level 2, and I saw it stalled at roughly 26.60. And then I hit the button for 26.66. And it immediately after I hit the button for 26.67 is where I hit the button. It took off in the other direction. And so I bought another 200 shares. I averaged in at 27 even. So I don't remember exactly the price, but there were no sellers left at that point on the level 2. And any little bit of buying made the price launch. And so I jumped into it. I don't exactly remember where. It had to have been somewhere around 27. If I got in at 26.67, that's a 33. So I got in again at 27.33, roughly, we'll call it, something like that, for an average of $27. And then it ran up. I got $1.80 out of it, so I let it go at 28.80. So it ran up in this candle right here. I remember I waited out this candle, and it started to pull back. And I was like, okay, well, if this thing's either consolidating or, which obviously now it's easy to see that it was consolidating after its move after this move up right here, it consolidated. I was like, either it's consolidating or it's just going to fall back down. I'm taking profits either way. So I got out at 28.80 right here at this this level here. Let me get rid of the brush. And so 28.80 right there. I got out after it pulled back to that spot right there. I was like, screw it, I'm taking my profits. I'm going home. Now, could I have gotten more? Yeah, obviously. I could have gotten quite a bit more. But that was my trade, and it worked. All right, everybody. That is the day. MP would have been nice. I didn't get into this trade, and it actually was I was busy at the time, when this trade confirmed. And you can see here, so this was the previous all-time high here at 46.84. And so it ran up, and it broke back down below it again, and then it ran up on this little candle right here. It successfully tested after it broke up above again, successfully tested, and then took off again to the upside. So let's see, there was a maximum here of what was that, $2.06, right? Now, I probably could have gotten in somewhere around $47. And then the way this thing was acting, the way that it was kind of moving up right here, this would have been a really good trade to have gotten into. I probably could have gotten $1 plus off of this trade right here. On a $2 move, I probably would have gotten in right around 47, and then watching it pull back right here and then pop back up again. It probably would have been $1. I probably would have been able to pull $1 out of this $2 move right here. Yeah, $1.70. Wait. No, sorry, $1.35. This $1.35. Well, so if it went all the way up to here, now you know what? I probably would have gotten more like, I probably would have gotten somewhere around $1 on this trade. Maybe a little bit less. 89 cents, we'll call it. Probably would have gotten 89 cents on that trade. Somewhere around 89 cents on that trade. But this is a really pretty trade. This deal right here. Here's a previous all-time high. It's a level everybody who's going to be trading the stock is watching. Dips down below the previous high, then comes right back above it again, tests on the next candle, and then says goodbye. That is an obvious trade. Any new beginner trader, if you're looking for a setup that has a high rate of confidence, it's breaking through old time highs, a previous high, and moving on to new highs with a little a break above, a retest, and then successful retest, then goodbye. It's about as basic as it gets, and probably it's who knows, it's probably one of the oldest trades in the book. I don't know. I don't have a history book of trading setups, but it's sort of like an old reliable. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to call it a day here. Good luck out there. Happy trading. Click like, subscribe, make a comment, and I will see you all tomorrow.